Hi guys, me, Rusty78609 in Central Texas somewhere. I think I'm in Marble Falls. It is 10:55 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's about 40 degrees, cold to me. A lot of people would think that'd be nice and warm, but I don't. Anyway, just got through doing my walking at Walmart and came by the grocery store. And now I'm headed home. And I'm still having issues uploading videos, but that'll all work out, I guess. But I wanted to see, today's December the 10th, by the way, Saturday. Let me concentrate here to get out of this intersection. Most elderly people are involved in accidents at intersections. And I'm getting elderly, I'm 71. But anyway, I did a little video earlier, but I did it in HD. And as usual, it's locked in the preparing mode at YouTube. But having said that, it is a nice day. And I've got me some dark chocolate covered cashews today and some green tea, which I normally do, and it's pretty nice. The high today is supposed to be about 51 to 53 here in Central Texas. Tonight the low will be about what the high is today. It's supposed to be right at 46, 48 tonight, which is nice. And then tomorrow we get right back up into the upper 60s and low 70s for a few days, which is fine with old Rusty. But I wanted to just give you an update on my, I did the video I did this morning, if it ever gets uploaded. It was about, taking care of your RV in the wintertime, and hopefully that'll get done. It'll be uploaded sometime today, maybe, I don't know, depends. But having said that, I did get a new printer. My Epson 310 printer went out. I had it for 2.5 years and paid $60 for it, and it went out. So it's been a really good week for me. Printer went out, can't upload videos, and I got a new printer. It's called a Canon Pixma MG2922. I got it at Walmart for $24. I took it home yesterday, and what can I say? Anyway, I got home, got it out of the box. It's really a neat looking little printer. I mean, it's, it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, of course, for $24. And I'm glad, because that's all I want. I don't print 100 copies a year, probably less. But I do need it for when I do the tasting events for wine and beer, because they send me stuff email that has to be printed out and used during the demo, and then I have to make a copy of it and email it, I make a copy for my records and then email them mail back information back. But anyway, so it's kind of a necessity, and every now and then, like, I need to make personal copies. Like whenever I do my tax return, I like to keep a copy, because I send in paper. I do the paper copy. The reason is it's slower for them to evaluate the paper copies than if you do it online, because then it's completely done by computer and it happens instantly. So I just assume they take their time. And but anyway, back to the Canon Pixma. Got home, very easy, got it out of the box, got it all quote assembled, and put the ink cartridges in. It comes with 2 ink cartridges, one black and one color, and then comes with a power card, but no USB cable. And but that I didn't need one anyway. It comes with a CD-ROM if you have a computer that you can stick a CD into. I don't. All I've got is a Google Chromebook. Actually, it's a Toshiba Chromebook, and I like it. I've had it for about 2 years, and it's been all I need, because I could cloud print with the Epson printer, and planning on doing it with the Canon printer. So anyway, I read the instructions, which were not much to read because they didn't have much in the way of instructions. You could download a manual on the internet if you wanted to, which I didn't. So I followed the instructions that were given me, and guess what? It didn't work. No surprise there. I didn't expect it to the first time. So I looked everywhere trying to find the customer service number. It was nowhere to be found, so I did a Google search for Canon Printer customer service, got a number and called it, and it was the wrong number. They gave me another 800 number for the printer service, customer service. So I called them and get a guy on the phone, and of course you got to go through the unplug, turn off, punch this, pull that, run around the house with a toothbrush in your mouth, a lot of shit you go through. And of course the printer, you got, and then they want the serial number and the model number and all the stuff off the back of the printer. The printer is never, very few people have the printer set up backwards, you know what I mean? So that you can always see the serial number. You have to turn it around and stuff. But anyway, a little awkward, not bad, a little awkward, that's all. So anyway, we get into it. He says, okay, hold down this button and watch the light by the triangle, and when it blinks 15 times, let go. All right, well, I pressed the thing he told me to press, and I didn't see a light blinking because there's two triangles, okay? There's one at the bottom and there's one in the middle. And well, actually the one at the bottom is a diamond. I thought it was a triangle, but it wasn't. It's a diamond. But anyway, I was watching the diamond and nothing happened. So then I said, look, I'm sorry. I said, I was watching the wrong thing, so I'm going to need to start over. Well, guess what you got to do then? You got to power this thing off, unplug it, wait 30 seconds, plug it back in, power it back on, then punch the little button and watch this thing blink exactly 15 times, okay? Exactly 15 times. At the end of the 15th blink, you let go, and it prints out one sheet of paper with a lot of stuff on it. And so it did. It printed it out, and he said, well, you should have an IP4 address there. So I looked down the list of stuff, and there it was. And he said, now you go to your Chromebook, and in the address bar, just type in whatever that IP number is, press enter, and then it'll go somewhere. It did. It went to Chromebook setup. And went through some steps there, the English language, etc. Then I pressed next, and then it says the IP address that I had entered could not be found. So I told the guy that. He said, well, we'll do it over. So we did, same thing. He said, well, on that sheet, does it show the printer connected to the your router? Yes. I said, I've only got one router. It shows that it's connected to the Netgear router. He said, well, is your Chromebook connected to the Netgear router? Yes. Because I've only got one router, and that's it. So anyway, the Chromebook's connected to the router. The Canon printer is connected to the router, but they're not talking to each other. Okay, maybe they didn't like each other. I don't know. But anyway, he said, well, what we got to do now is unplug the power to your Netgear router, and then we'll reset it. Okay, so I unplugged the power to the router, waited a few seconds, plugged it back in. Then, guess what? The router wouldn't work, okay? So now I not only have a Canon printer problem, but I've got a Netgear router problem. And so he said, well, that's your problem right there. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, there's something wrong with your router. I said, well, yeah, there is something wrong with it now, but it wasn't a damn thing wrong with it until I called you. Anyway, he said, well, that's what it is. It's the router. I said, all right. So I was a little frustrated. And I said, okay, let's just take a break. I'll do it, see what I can come up with. Maybe I'll take the printer back. So I hung up the phone, and when that router of mine doesn't work, I don't have any internet access, okay? So there's two little buttons on top of my router. One is for something and one's for something else. And I've never pressed them. All right, never. Well, since the router wasn't working right, I pressed one, nothing changed. And then I pressed the other one, all the lights came on and the router started working. So the router problem solved itself, basically. So then I thought, well, okay, I'll go in now and key in that IP address in the address bar, and it should see it now. It didn't. So I called customer service again. I know y'all want to hear all this crap, but it's a good story. And customer service at Canon is very good. I recommend them. I'm not recommending their product yet because I haven't got one that works. But anyway, so I called Canon customer service, get another guy on the phone. Of course, he couldn't find anything about me calling earlier. I said, no problem. So I gave him all the information all over again, name, address, serial number, model number, all the whole crap all over again. And and we started going through some steps, okay? And of course, we went through the 15 blinks and the whole thing, and it printed out another sheet. And anyway, he told me that, he said, well, what was the IP address you entered during the last conversation? And I told him, and he said, well, enter that again. So I did. Nothing, didn't work. And same problem. And so we did some other things, unplug, plug, off on, 15 blinks again. And anyway, I was looking over that sheet of paper that had printed out the latest one, and I noticed that IP4 address that it had given me was different. Instead of the last digit being .8, it was .2. And so I told him that. He said, oh, I should have thought of that. Yeah, he said the IP address had probably changed. So I thought, oh good, we've got it now. All I got to do is enter this new IP address and it'll work. Well, it didn't. That's making a long story much shorter. And anyway, it ended up, he said, well, I'm going to give you a case number. And I said, man, I've got a case right now, but you don't want to hear about it. And he just said, no, I mean a case number so that we're going to ship you a new printer. And in addition to that, I'm going to include an additional black and color cartridge for all the trouble you've been through. And I said, well, that's fine. I mean, how long is it going to take to get this printer? And he said, well, they'll ship it on Monday. You should have it by midweek next week. So anyway, that's the Canon Pixma MG 2922 story. I went on, of course, I went to YouTube and watched some videos. There were none that were really directly related to using a Chromebook and cloud printing. There was one that was pretty close, but when I followed the steps that he gave, I got a different screen at Google Chrome, and it didn't have the place to click that he had that made the printer work. So that is the end of the Canon Pixma MG 2922 story. Now we're in Kingsland, Texas, USA on Highway 1431, going a whopping 50 miles an hour because the speed limit's 50 miles an hour. And anyway, it is a nice Saturday actually, and I hope you guys are enjoying your day. I'm doing okay, other than some petty frustrations that started last week and really are lingering, like the video uploads. I went by the grocery store in Marble Falls to upload the video I had done earlier, thinking that it might be the speed of the upload that's causing the problem. Well, at this particular grocery store, they have super fast, or at least I think it's super fast, internet. They've got, it's about 40 megabytes per second upload, okay? Upload at 40 megs, okay? At home, I've got a maximum of 1, and on my smartphone, it varies between 3 and 5, maybe 6 max. So 40 is Superman fast. Well, I tried to upload the video and it got stuck in the preparing mode. It went from 1 to 2%, then 3, and then back to 0. Did it again, went up all the way to 7 in the preparing mode and back to 0. And so I thought, well, I'll just cancel it and upload it again. So I did. I canceled it, go back to my camera and upload it again. And guess what? No change. So that's the story of, that's the glory of me. Okay, guys, it is a good day. You got to give a little, take a little. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Que sera. What a beautiful phrase. Doris Day sang that song in the 1950s, and I thought she was pretty, and she was freckled as hell, actually. They put a, whenever she showed in a movie, they put a thing over the camera so her freckles wouldn't show. But anyway, here we are again, mixing misery and gin, and I'm drinking green tea and living life. The reason I'm letting this video linger a little bit is because this is a different camera than the one I usually use, and if this video uploads and looks reasonably good, I mean, I know it's going to be a little grainy because it's got a crappy camera, but until I can figure out what's going on with YouTube, it's about the only thing I can do to keep videos up. It's not the phone, it's not the camera on the phone, because I went by Cricket Wireless and we tested some other phones, same thing. Even checked an Apple, same thing. So it's not the phone or the operating system or any of that crap. It's just something with uploading at YouTube. So, down through the barnyard she staggered. Staggered and fell at the door. These were the last words she uttered. I'll never get drunk anymore. Beautiful, beautiful brown eyes. I brought Matilda in this morning, and I have to tell you, I've never seen a garbage can so happy in all my life. Matilda is my garbage can, garbage, according to Jonathan Winters, who used to do the trash bag commercial way back when. I think it was Hefty bags, and he made them fortune because he introduced he just did that off the cuff. He told them that he wouldn't do anything with a script, but he would do a live video and just shoot from the hip. So he got dressed up like a garbage man, and they turned the camera on, and first, after he talked about the bags for a minute, and then he said garbage. He coined the new word. So anyway, guys, I'm cruising along here. Oh, this is a ranch road here that connects with Park Road 4, which goes to my home. And the reason I come this way, it's not a shortcut, it's the only way to go, because the Colorado River is off to the left about a mile, and that's what forms Lake LBJ, part of it. The other half is formed by the Llano River. Christmas is coming. The lights are on the tree. I was at Walmart today doing my walking. I ran into a management group having a little session there in the aisle, and I just proceeded to walk right up and talk to them. And I said, you know, you guys have some competition coming your way. And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, Amazon is fixing to open 2,000 stores right in your backyard. And they said, yeah, they were well aware of that. And, you know, they're prepared for it, apparently. And they expanded on that, and I'm not too sure if their facts are right, but I would assume they are because Amazon is a direct competitor of theirs. But the oldest one in this group told me, he said they are going to open 2,000 stores, and they're not going to have any cashiers, and they're not going to have any stockers. The stocking is going to be automated, and the cashiers are going to be, whenever you're going to have an app on your smartphone, and when you come through the door, it'll recognize you, and as you pick up items and put them in your basket, they are being added just like it was at a cash register because they're using a RFID chip in every product, which are cheap as dirt. And so when you get through shopping, you just push your cart right out to your car and you're done. How about that, boys and girls? Virtually a store, they're going to sell groceries and other stuff, but a store that is virtually operating autonomously, and we talked about that on cars. So we're heading to all this autonomous stuff, stores and cars. My question is, who's going to be able to buy the product? Nobody working. So I guess the government will have to expand its welfare system from what it is now to a much larger system. So you sit at home, do nothing. The government sends you a check every month, and then you go buy stuff, not to create jobs, but I don't know. What's the purpose of buying products that aren't creating jobs anyway? But be that as it may, it looks like that's the future. Amazon says they'll have all those stores rolled out and open in about 5 to 7 years. That's what he told me. Do I believe everything I'm told? No. Sometimes I don't believe anything I'm told, at my own peril. But anyway, guys, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios. Bye-bye from Rusty in Central Texas, USA. I full-time RV and go car camping. For you guys that are interested in stuff like that, check out my playlists on my homepage for RVing and Prius camping or car camping or whatever. Appreciate it. So anyway, thumbs up, Carpe Diem, buy USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water, take deep breaths, stretch, walk for exercise, and keep your health. Anyway, bye-bye.